Hello everyone. I'm doing a video to explain my experience having moved from Australia to Thailand during this COVID-19 pandemic situation. I'm currently standing in my quarantine hotel where I was instructed to quarantine for 14 days, in which I'm not allowed to leave the hotel. But first, let me start by explaining to you the experience I had during my journey over here, which was quite stressful for a lot of reasons. So, um, when I arrived at the airport in Brisbane, um, I almost was unable to board my flight because the staff, the flight airline staff, were checking my documents and my reasons for leaving, and they were very strict about what reasons you're allowed to have. And after explaining that I'm moving to Thailand to be a student, they finally let me board the plane, and that was only the beginning of a difficult journey. Once I arrived in Bangkok after a tiring overnight flight, the immigration almost didn't let me into the country because I had to use something called a certificate of entry before coming to Thailand. So I had to apply and get approval. And the process for getting approval for a certificate of entry is that you have to buy your flight ticket and you have to buy your quarantine hotel in advance before you even know that you're getting approved. So I did that, and because I'm not able to actually buy a student visa or be given a student visa while in Australia, so I had to do this kind of way, get a certificate of entry to give me like a 45-day allowance of stay in Thailand, and then convert that to an ED visa, education visa. So when I arrived, the immigration at the airport in Bangkok, the guy didn't understand this process, and he said, "Oh, that's not the correct way. You should have immediately got an ED visa in Australia." And he didn't understand that you can't do that because the immigration office in Australia does not accept phone calls. And this is kind of the unofficial way that everyone is doing it. I was lucky that his supervisor understood, and I was able to enter into the country. So now I'm sitting here in quarantine, and so you can see behind me, this is kind of the central Bangkok area. It kind of looks like a slum almost. But this is a very nice hotel. This is like a 4-star hotel. I paid about 40,000 baht to stay here. So you can't actually leave the hotel room. You can't have guests. They won't clean the hotel room. The quarantine food at most of these hotels is not particularly good quality, but you can order food in using the Grab app or Food Panda apps. But you have to make sure that you have a phone number capable of receiving text messages to use these food delivery services. And then you have to be careful because a lot of the restaurants are not very healthy, so you have to kind of find a healthy option. I found Get Fresh. There's one restaurant named Get Fresh, which is quite healthy. I use them. They have good kind of chicken meals and protein shakes with like fruits and stuff. Obviously, you have internet available in most of these hotels. My hotel room actually has a balcony, so I don't know if you can see. Kind of angle the camera down, you can see here's the balcony. There's also a cigarette ashtray, which is very interesting because you're not allowed to smoke or drink in the room. I think you drink alcohol. You're not able to actually order cigarettes or alcohol on any of these delivery apps. And I was told that I don't know if it's an official rule or an unofficial rule, but there's no way to actually, obtain alcohol or cigarettes. I'm an ex-smoker. I don't smoke anymore, but it would have been nice to have maybe a drink of wine or something during this 14-day quarantine, which can get a little boring at times. Um, so on top of that, you will have to do 3 COVID tests. These COVID tests will be on day 1, day 3, and I'm not sure about the last one, maybe day 10 or something. But yeah, I think there was 3 COVID tests that you have to do during your 14-day stay. As I said, the food is pretty terrible. I was able to convince the hotel staff to replace my meals with fruit. So I said, okay, can you just give me mangoes, rambutans, and what was the third one? Dragon fruit. But like these are really healthy fruits, and I actually found them to be more nutritious than the meals they were serving. So I just have these fruits, and then I order in delivery for other food. Um, I guess that's about it for most of the details. I don't know if I've left anything out. I think one of the main things you have to be careful of is, I mean, you're not able to get much sunlight in quarantine, so vitamin D levels will be low. That can cause issues like depression, and it can also affect your immune system. So make sure to, eat nutritious food. Another thing is food with magnesium, because magnesium can improve your mood. So there are some fruits that have magnesium in, such as mangoes, rambutans, some other foods. So yeah, really try to make sure that you're eating healthy while in quarantine, especially since the junk food restaurants, you could say, like KFC or McDonald's, I feel like they're a little bit more unhealthy here compared to Western countries. So if anyone that's coming here, um, you have to understand it's very expensive, right? So the flights are about 3 times the price of normal, and the quarantine fee, I mean, it's over $1,000. So my quarantine fee was over $1,000, maybe 1,200 US dollars. My flight was um, probably almost 1,000 US dollars, because I actually paid at a 30 kilogram baggage allowance, and I paid I think it was about 200 US dollars for an extra 10 kilograms on my baggage allowance. So everything is more expensive now with flying. And then another thing you'll find is if you want to get an education visa here, I am paying. I can't really work out the exchange rate, but it's about 60,000 Thai baht. Um, I think it's 1,800 US dollars for my 1 year education visa. It's like a kind of self-defense course. So that's another thing that you need to be careful about. Things are always changing with the COVID rules, so I don't advise anyone to come to Thailand during this time. And you are taking a risk. I took a big risk. I was lucky. Everything worked out. But yeah, anyone watching this video, the safe thing to do is wait. But if you want to take the risk, at least I've given you some idea about what you're going to be in for. Um, in terms of passing immigration, I should have mentioned the details of this, but some of the things I needed to show the immigration officer was my contract for an apartment rental that I put down on in the place that I am planning to live. Then on top of that, I showed him an invitation letter from my school. So he needed these evidences of my intentions of, getting an ED visa here. And if I didn't have those available, it would have been very difficult to get the approval. But it's kind of hit and miss. Like there's some people that are coming here on retirement visas, if you're over 50. Um, So some people are getting in and they're not getting questioned that much. I was kind of unlucky, but I still everything kind of worked out. Always plan for the worst and hope for the best. And then, if you have a positive attitude, everything should work out fine. Hope you found this video useful. I know it's a bit of a mess. I didn't really plan this. I didn't script this speech. I'm just, telling you as I go along, and that's why everything's kind of out of order. But yeah, hope you found it useful, and be safe in this in these strange times that we're living in. Take care.